morning. Good morning. Welcome to session number 3. You're on time. I saw your work. All right, that's really cool. We'll talk about it. You right now, what you can do is okay. I'm gonna turn off my camera and my mic, and as we wait for the rest, okay. In the meanwhile, you can open your file and just keep it. Right. We'll take a look at it. Right. I want to take a look at everyone's work today. All right.
Okay.
Okay, and so I'm just going to go off cam for 5 minutes. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, off the camera.
Yeah, off the camera. One second, huh?
And hit Z for the Z axis and just type 1 and that's it. You have your object right on top. All right, that's super simple, right? And this is how you can work accurately in Blender. So right now you can see it's exactly on the axis here. So the way we do it is we're going to click on, we're going to make it my perspective, zoom in, and I'm going to click on the object. I need to select the top face. So I'm going to select the top, as you can see. Now to do that, we're going to jump into the X-ray view. So the X, all right, now snap to the grid, because right now when I'm moving it up is we move it. So I'm going to hit G on the keyboard and Z to move it up. Now I want it to snap to the grid, because right now when I'm moving it can go anywhere, but I want it to be perfectly snapped to the grid here. And the way we're going to do that is by clicking on this magnet tool here. Click on grid. All right, so now to snap, all I have to do is hit G. Okay, and now let's look closely at our hammer here. So the handle is up here, but then this I and I insert that. Right, so now we have the stock. We've created the stock just like that. All right, now it's time to create the hammer on top. Now I have an option of creating this as a separate object, so jumping out of object mode and then adding a cube and doing all of that. But I think I want to do it with this object itself. And so the way I'm going to do that is as is the handle, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my mouse, and as I right click, you can see it's jumped back. Now this doesn't mean that it's disappeared. What this means is that there are two faces here because you've extruded and you've placed it right on top of the previous shape or face, right? So now what we're going to do is with that same face selected, I am going to scale. So I'm hitting S on the keyboard and I scale that, and now your faces on each disappear. So and there you go, we have the shape, the front and on that, and I did both faces selected, right? It's kind of weird. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to undo that and I'm going to right click, and here we have extrude along normals. Now we all know what normals are, and so when you do that, you can see it's extruding along the normals. And now I'm going to hold on control so that it snaps. Perfect. All right, so now we have the hammer shape generally. Now we want to taper the end, and so let's take a closer look at our hammer. So the width remains the same. It's just tapered, and so it's kind of squished on the up-down axis, which is the Z axis. So let's go ahead and deselect our faces, and I'm going to select this face, and let's go a little closer, and let's SZ. So we're scaling down on Z in this panel of ours, and now back into front view, and then this. All right, and now okay, and so that, and I'm going to set it through this last remain. Perfect. So this is a challenge to you. I want you to okay. Now, let's click on this object here and jump into the edit mode. And now I prefer to do this in the vertex select mode. And what I need to do is I need to make a selection. So of course you have to be in your X-ray mode, that's Alt Z, and it's kind of faded in this mode, and you need to be in this mode to be able to select everything. So right now I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I'm going to draw a box about this. So this is the part that I want to cut out, all right? And now everything's selected here, so this was an easy way to select the hammer. All I need to do is just go around here and check if everything is selected. Now it's a better idea to jump into solid view, and the way I can do that is just hit Z on my keyboard and go to solid view. And so it's a better idea to come in here and check everything you want is selected. So yes, all the faces I want are selected. However, I don't want this protruding part to be selected. I want this to be remain part of the stock. So before we color it, we want to separate the hammer head from the handle and the stock. And the way to do that is very simple. All we have to do is jump into edit mode and ensure that we are in X-ray mode by hitting Alt Z. So we jump into X-ray mode, so you can see the model is a little faded. And now all we have to do is draw a box around what we want to select. So I want to select the hammer head, deselect with everything select. Now the only thing selected, and that brings up the separate. And now I'm ready to separate pieces. And there you go. You can see simply to deselect that, all I have to do with everything selected, I just hold on control and draw a box around these vertices. And there you go. You can see that this whole thing has been deselected. And now the only thing selected is the hammer head. And now I'm ready to separate the shape. The way to separate with this shape selected, all I have to do is hit P on my keyboard, and that brings up the separate menu. And here you can see, boom, you can see not much, see that our hammer head disappears and the handle and say, let's go 0, 1. So here we have, and here and hit new make properties. So I'm going to give it a bit. I'm going to want to color this off. Now I can make my selection, and there you go, slot, blue color. All right, a little dark material, and let's make the handle color something jazzy, like a blue slot. The whole handle has been selected. Let's go ahead and hit tab, and now I'm in the edit mode, and all I have to do is just draw a box around this, and there you go. The whole handle has been selected, and the selection has been made. Now all we have to do is go to slot and add a new slot, and this allows us to add a new material. And there you go. First, we need to Alt Z, and just like that, we've used everything we've learned so far to build a hammer and color it too. And now it's time for a challenge to you. Here we have this really cool stick cubes here. They're symmetrical, and they are the same object on both sides. And so that's a hint there for you.
One second, admit. One second. Hello. Admit. Yes. Hi, Niket. Welcome to the call. Good morning. How's it going, Niket? And yes. Are you raising a hand, Kavish, for a question? Yes. Tell me.
Yeah. Okay, so again the same problem is happening. I don't know what's wrong. It's not saving the file I made yesterday. It could be saving in the render. It's not saving as a whole, or for me to view it in render, only the
Sorry,
Blender is
I'm not following. Your voice is not very clear, first off. Are you saying something about your Blender file not saving?
yes.
Okay, can you repeat that again?
So like the JPG view and the render view that is saving, but the Blender gets a file where you are supposed to edit and all. That is not saving, and now I lost the table chair file also somehow.
Okay, give me your AnyDesk. Let's just take a quick look. We have 2 minutes to start. 1 second now.
And what I did yesterday, it's all deleted. It's all plain.
It's all deleted. Really?
Yeah.
Why? That's
Wait,
weird.
I'll send you my any
Yeah,
desk.
give me your AnyDesk. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening. Okay. Let's just okay. In the meanwhile, while you give me your this thing, let me just. Yes. Hi, Ine. Welcome to the call. Good morning. And just a second. Hi, Ine. Good morning. Oh my, you are in some Cybertron city. Where where have you reached? 1 second. I'm just going to be helping Kavish here. And someone has joined as well. I think Ine is joining us from the future, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. 1 second. Yuvin has here. Hello, Yuvin. Hi, Yuvin. Good morning. Welcome to the Blender Kids call.
Hi,
How are,
sir.
hi. How are you, Yuvin?
I'm
Good.
nice.
All right. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm going to share my screen before we start our session. Kavish has some trouble which I'm trying to solve, and I'm going to share it with you guys also, so you guys also can probably see what is the solution. So, just to tell you what the problem is, Kavish is not able to save his files. So, if you are also facing this problem, maybe it will get solved. So, yes, Kavish, turn on your file. Okay, Surya is here.
Okay, so
1 second,
this is
1 second. Surya, welcome to the call. Good morning. All right. Yes. Welcome to the call, Surya. Good morning. All right.
good one.
Yeah, so just I'm just looking at Kavish's file right now. So you guys also can see I'm sharing my screen. Yes, Kavish, what is the problem? Tell me.
Okay, so this is the render image,
Uh-huh.
but when I go to Blender,
Uh-huh. Turn on Blender.
it's turning on.
It's turning on. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
And I went to this. My full work is now playing. And I went to the material section also. It's still playing.
You turn on Blender. I can't see it.
I've turned it on.
But it's not loaded. Ah, okay. Now I can see. Yes. Now
See, now this is the solid view. When I go to material,
material
this
view.
is everything is gone.
Show me material view.
This is the material view.
No, this is the solid view.
No, it's loading.
Ah, okay. This is the material view. Okay, and you are saying all you had colored it and it's all gone.
Yeah, I put lighting, background, camera.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Just quickly go to the shading editor, shading workspace by clicking on the tab there. Very good. Click on the shading workspace. All right. Now click on one of the objects, say the chair, right? You had put a color on the chair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you clicked the chair?
I have actually joined it to the plane, so I have to click plane.
Okay, click any object that has a color that you remember that you had put a color on.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've clicked it.
click any object. Okay, which object have you clicked? Because it's not updated here yet.
I've clicked the plane.
The plane has a color, right? Some red kind of color, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly when you clicked on the object, you can see in the shader editor nothing has appeared. That means there is no material. Okay, and so you're right.
Yeah.
You tried to save it, but the materials did not save, and there are no materials right now. So I want to just check again. Click in your shader editor on that small icon. Yes, your mouse was there only. In the shader editor, next to new, click on that tiny, yes. So can you see there are no materials? There's only one default material, which is white in color.
Yeah.
Correct. So now what I want you to do is I want you to click on new and make a new color, say red or something, some color. All right. Okay. May change the color. We want to check if the color is actually working. So just change it to red or something like that. I want to see if the materials are working in your blender. Okay, looks like it's working. Some shade has changed, right? Make it full red. Yeah, there you go. So the color is working, right? Now go to file. Now save. Yeah. Now save as. Go to your folder. Okay. And now table chair blend. Okay, save it. Save as. Okay. Now go to file again.
Yeah, now it's
What happened? You turned off blender? Yeah. Now turn it on again.
it is working.
It'll load. All right. Okay, it should load, and so if the color is there, there you go, your color is there. So clearly, Kavish, your blender is working with materials. You probably made a mistake in saving your file, right? Maybe you didn't save your file or something happened there, right? Or maybe you by mistake deleted something, right? Because clearly your file is getting saved, right? So there's no trouble in the blender, all right? Cool. So this is how you check, right? So as we work through, you will learn how to, find problems also. All right. Okay, cool. Guys, welcome to the call. One second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a minute. Stop sharing. One second. There is someone, Vihan. No, one second. Virat. No, sorry. His name was, he's not joining us. No. So everyone is in. Just a second. Let me check the. Veer, yeah, Veer is not joining in. He'll be joining the next batch. All right. Okay, guys, welcome to session number 4 of the Blender Kids workshop. Are you guys excited? Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. And how was the last session and working on your creations since the last session today? Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun? Yeah? Was it fun? So I'm going to quickly go through the work, okay, before we begin today's session. So I'm going to share my screen and just go through the WhatsApp. One second, okay. Let's go through the WhatsApp. Oopsie. One second. I just turned off WhatsApp. Let's get WhatsApp up and running. Okay, here we have WhatsApp, and let's go a little behind. Yes, so yeah, so I think you shared this last time, right, before the last session, correct? Yeah, so we did take a look at this, and after this, okay, here we have Niku's or Nikit's ice cream. Really good. Okay, I really liked it. Like I told you, I liked your choice of colors. Okay, it looks yummy. All right, but Niku, you have to put the background and render it, right? So you have to do that. I haven't seen that. Yeah, Niket, are you with me? Yes. So this one that you have shared is actually a material preview, right? So there is no lighting and there is no camera, I believe. Correct, Niku? You can unmute and speak. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, Niket. So have you put a background and colored this?
Yes.
Yeah. So share it, okay, after today's session. Yeah, I
Okay.
want to see the ice cream with the background and your camera setting and all of that, right? Okay, so you have to use, instead of using preview render preview, I want you to use render image, right? You remember, right? Okay, cool. Moving on. All right, Ine, very cool. Okay, Ine, this is your stuff, right? Very cool. I like it. I like how you've kind of changed the design a little bit. Okay, but I notice, here, can you see this? I can see this object is you kind of rotated it a bit, right? And so it's not exactly at a 90-degree angle, right? And so were you having trouble with that? Did you do this on purpose? Did you turn it this way on purpose, or did it happen by mistake? Happened by mistake. All right. So today's session, we are going to learn about accuracy, okay? And we are going to learn how to be accurate with our models, okay? I like how you did the eyes, okay? You changed the eye shape, right? In the design, it was square and rectangular, and the nose also was rectangular, and you changed it. So you saw the design, you broke it, and then you built it, and then you also changed it, right, in some minor way, right? Very good. Okay, good job. Now let's look at the next one. Your ice cream. All right, here's the ice cream. पिस्ता ice cream with grey ice cream. कौन सा ice cream है? Huh? Which flavor is grey? Huh? Chocolate grey. Okay, creative chocolate. All right, cool. All right, now let's go to the next one. Yes, dumbbell. Okay, so this is good, but I can see that your dumbbell, right? The bar isn't in the center of your bell, right? It's a little down. So you kind of moved. I think this shape got moved. Okay. So again, we're going to talk about accuracy today. So you'll get a sense of how to be accurate. So a dumbbell, the bar actually goes right through the center of your plates, right? And so here I can see that the bar is kind of offset. It's not exactly aligned with the center of this plate. Okay. So today we're going to look at those things. Okay, how to do that. Okay, I love this. This guy has come out really good. Okay, good job on this. Inay, good job. And also, let's look at the next one. And you have a car, and this is exceptionally good. Okay, I really liked it. But here's the thing: with this, you broke it, you built it, but you haven't really changed it, right? And that's fine. But I want you to begin to start changing, like how you changed this little small thing. You changed the eyes and the nose, right? And so even with the astronaut guy also, you haven't made much changes, but that's fine. Good job on building it, right? Breaking it, figuring out what are the shapes, figuring out how they are placed, and also figuring out proportions, right? You actually got the proportions of the car very accurate, right? As the design that I had given you, right? So good job on that. Now coming to, let's look at the homework assignments that, before we come to the chair and table Kavish made. Let's look at this guy. All right. So this is Surya's. Okay. So Surya, good job on this. Yeah. You've also kind of struggled with keeping the accuracy. I can see here, right? The corners and something like that. But you've kind of broken it and you've built it. Okay. Good job. And let's look at, and your car is also pretty good. I like it. I love it. Right? Pretty good. But you could also color this, right? You could have colored it. Yes, Surya, you want to say something?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So, what stopped you from coloring it?
I didn't have time.
Oh, okay. But you know how to color it, right? Because today we're going to go into some more coloring, right? So you saw that part of the tutorial as well, right? The recap video where I color and the ice cream, right?
Yes, sir.
You know how to do it, right? That's all I wanted to confirm. Okay, cool. All right. So now a bit of feedback for all of you, okay? Whoever has shared work like this with me, right? Where I can see the grid and I can see, so I know that you've done a preview, render viewport preview, right? And so now I slowly want you guys to move away from render viewport preview. Only if I ask you to specifically do a render viewport preview, you should do that. Otherwise, I want you to place a camera, I want you to place a light, I want you to place a background, right? And then render your image. I want you to render image, okay? Because this is only a work in progress kind of render. We want to start rendering our images properly, right? And so I want you to follow that method of rendering image. So for rendering image, you have to have a camera, you have to have a light, right? You have to have a background, and that will you have to set those things in place, right? So from now on, when you're sharing your homework or your assignments, I want it to be render images and not render preview. All right, clear? All right, okay. And remember in the last session, I also kind of gave you a little feedback about how to compose your image, right? You want to have a square image, you want to zoom in on your character or your object clearly, and we want to see it clearly, right? Okay, cool. Now let's just quickly look at Kavish's stuff, okay? Where's Kavish's table and chair? All right, so Kavish has made made a whole dining table set, okay? So what inspired you to do this? This wasn't part of the homework, right, Kavish? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Yes. So what inspired you to do this?
I don't know. I just see it every day in the house. I just made it.
Just making, right? Just experimenting. And that's what I love, right? That's what you want to do. You want to go above and beyond the homework, right? No matter how simple whatever it is that you're making, you just want to make something. Just keep doing something, right? Keep pushing buttons in Blender, right? Nothing will break. Nothing will explode. Okay. Keep pushing, keep doing something, right? So, what I especially liked about this is that, of course, this render again is a material preview, or is it a render image? Can't
It's
really
a material review.
material preview, right? So I want you to do render image, okay? And so what I especially liked about it, okay? I want to share this with you, with everyone, okay? So look at this. What he said is he shared the image, so everyone else, okay? This is what Kavish has said about his image. He said that this is my shadow casted dining table. As I mentioned in class, I don't, so that's a problem that he's shared, that he can't save his files, which we resolved. But he also said, I also made it appear in side angle because the shadow is casted and looks better in the direction out of all, right? So that tells me his thought process, that why he has placed his camera this way, because he liked the shadow. And in this camera angle, you can see the shadow, and he liked how it looked, right? And so that is really important, guys. All of you, okay? I want you to begin to look at what you're creating and be satisfied by how it looks, and set your camera angle and work towards being satisfied of how it looks. So he placed his camera, he moved it around, he tested certain things, and then he finally arrived at this view, and he liked this view. And so he exported this image because he liked this particular image. Now the reasons why he liked, there are many reasons, but he liked it, right? There was a reason why he liked it specifically, and he has shared that reason. The reason was that the shadow is clearly visible, right? So he articulated his reason for why he has done it this way, right? And so this is important, okay? I want you guys also, when you are doing your work, say you've done the assignment and you changed something about the design, right? You changed some little bit. Now if you were to share your image, not just share it in the group, but also say why you shared it, why you changed it, what you changed about it, and what you liked about it, right? That gives a clear picture of your thought process, and also it clarifies the thought process for you itself, right? Because while you're not just doing homework, then you're not just doing something to share it on the group. You're doing something that you like, something that you are fixing to make it look good, such that it fits in your visual aesthetic. You know what I mean by visual aesthetic? That you turned it around and you like it this way for whatever reasons, and those reasons I want to hear, and those reasons everyone in the group also wants to hear, right? Everyone clear? Yeah. So from now on, okay, share your work and talk a little bit about it, why you did that, why you made that little change, what you liked about it, right? And we want to develop that skill, we want to develop that more of what you like, right? And we are actually developing your eyes, because your eyes are seeing something, and it's comparing, okay, I like this, I don't like that, okay, I'm going to change this a bit, and I like this now, right? And a lot of that is going to happen in Blender, okay? A lot of that is going to happen in our journey of 3D creation. Okay, wonderful, guys. So thank you so much for doing the work and sharing the work, okay? I want you guys to do more, okay? And you go beyond the homework, okay? Do other things, right? Create something, right? Also, as a practice from now on, unless I tell you specifically to do viewport preview, I want you to do render image. So that means background, camera, light, all of that. All right. Okay, cool, guys. So that brings us to the end of the reviewing of the work. Okay. And so today now we are going to, okay, I'm turning on my Blender, and we're going to start our session. We've kind of 15 minutes into the session. We have enough time, okay, to do some stuff. All right, so I didn't want to show this. Let me make a new. All right, general. Okay, so here we are in Blender, the default scene again. And what is today going to be about? Okay, so today in the last session we looked at what is edit mode, right? And we looked at the different ways. We looked at what is a vertex, what is a edge, and what is a face, right? And we also looked at how we can select those individual things, right? How we can select the vertex, how we can select an edge, how we can select a face, right? Did any of you and all of you experiment with that? Hands up. Who did experiment with that? Yeah? Everyone experimented. Surya, did you experiment? Yes. Inay, could you please turn on your camera, right? I want everyone to be on camera at all times, right?
Sir, I went into some other screen, so I don't know how.
Sorry, come again. You went to
I have to ask my dad. And right now we're going into a lift.
Acha, okay, okay. So as soon as you are able to turn on your camera, please turn on your camera. All right? Okay? All right.
Okay.
Great. So, Inay, did you also experiment with the edit mode and selecting edges and vertexes and all of that?
Yeah.
All right, perfect, perfect. And so today we are going to deepen our understanding of the edit mode, and we are going to do some really cool things that that you can do magic with just a default cube, right? So we are going to learn how to do magic with a default cube. All right. So let's just do a quick recap. I'm going to just delete the camera, delete the light, and I'm going to select my cube, and I'm going to jump into edit mode by hitting, before I hit anything on my keyboard, I'm going to turn on my screencast keys so you can see, and there you go. Okay, so now you can see.
Can you hear me, sir?
Sorry?
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear, right? And you can go on mute right now. I think there's some background noise as well, right? All right. Okay, guys. So here we are in I'm going to select the cube, and I'm going to jump into edit mode by hitting tab on the keyboard. There you go. And now we are in the tab in the edit mode, and now I'm going to go ahead and select vertex select mode, click away. I'm going to draw a box, and there you go. I've selected the vertex. I'm going to select the other vertex. There you go. I have two vertices, and now I'm going to hit G on the keyboard and Z. Oh yeah, also in the last session we learned the keyboard shortcuts, right? So here's the keyboard shortcut, and I'm going to left click and finalize that. There you go. So I have this kind of a shape. I'm going to select these guys. So I'm just playing around, okay? I'm going to go to edge select mode and select that edge, and I'm going to hit G and Y. So I'm moving it on the Y axis. There you go. I have a shape like that. And let's go ahead and click on the face select mode, and I'm going to select the face here, and I'm going to hit G on the keyboard and hit Y, and there you go. You can see. And so you can see that when you select and you move objects, like it operates differently for the different elements, vertex, edge, and face, right? It works the same way but slightly differently. What I mean by that is, when I select the vertex, I can move only one vertex and I get a different kind of shape. But when I select the edge and I move it, I get a different kind of distortion. And when I select the face and I move it, I get a different kind of distortion. It is moving it, but moving it differently, right? So I'm going to undo all the way back to my default cube. So that was just a little, moving around and playing around with that. Okay. Now we are going to learn a foundational. Sorry. Yes, Kavish. 1 second, Anika. Yes, Kavish.
How do you select the face and the sides?
Face on the sides. Very simple. All you have to do is go to your face select mode. Okay. And just go ahead and click on any face. Right?
Oh, okay.
You got to click any face. You just click on the face and it will select. All right. And then if you want to select multiple, all you have to do is hold down shift and click. So you can select many, right? Okay. And say you've selected a bunch, say you've selected 1, 2, and 3. And now you realize, oh, I don't want to select the top. So you want to deselect that. So I've let go of shift. As you can see, I don't have shift selected, right? Pressed on my keyboard. All I have to do now is hold down control and click on the face that I don't want. And see, it got deselected, right? And if I want to reselect it, all I do is hold down shift again and I click. There you go. I've selected a bunch, right? You'll get used to this as we work, okay? Don't worry about it, okay? There you go. So now, as I was saying, now I'm going to introduce you to a very fundamental modification, or what do you call it? It's like it's a tool, right? But it's there in every 3D software. Okay, it's not just in Blender. It's like a foundation of 3D modeling, right? And so the first one is, it's called extrude. All right, so what is extrude? Extrude is a function. It's actually a function, right, that is there in every 3D application. And with an extrude, you can add geometry to your existing mesh. All right, so I've used a whole bunch of words now. Okay, new words. Okay, so let me clarify. So in any 3D application, okay, in any 3D application, any model that you make, okay, is generally referred to as a geometry, because it is a shape, right? And some of you might have the subject geometry and mathematics at school, right? So geometry is the mathematics of shapes, right? Is the mathematics of shapes. And so in Blender is actually doing mathematics, okay, in the background. You are pressing buttons here, but those buttons get converted to math in the background, and your computer is actually understanding math. Okay, and so the math that we are specifically doing when we are dealing with shapes is geometry, right? And so all shapes inside Blender are referred to generally as geometry. Okay, so if someone says, your geometry is looking off, that means your model is looking off, right? So these are technical terms that us animators and 3D artists use, right? So also, a geometry can also be called a mesh. So a mesh and geometry are terms that are used interchangeably. It's the same kind of thing. Now, why is it a mesh? Because if I look into my object in wireframe mode, this is a mesh. It's a mesh of vertices, and this becomes even more clear when you have a UV sphere, where you have a lot more vertices and edges, right? So that looks like a mesh, right? So your geometry is also referred to as a 3D mesh. Okay, now if I come to my solid view, okay, so right now if I'm in my solid view, Anika, can you be a little quiet, please? All right, okay, so here we are in our solid view, and if I were to select my face and I say G, okay, G, and I do Z, I'm moving this up. Okay, so now what have I done? I have scaled this object on the Z axis in the edit mode. Okay, but if you look at it, the number of faces remain the same, right? A cube has how many faces? 6 faces, right? 4 on all sides. So 1, 2, let's select it. Okay, I'm holding down shift, so I selected 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 on the top and 1 below, right? So that's 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 faces on a cube, right? So by increasing the height, I haven't changed the number of faces. The number of faces, the number of vertices, and the number of edges remain the same, right? So I haven't actually changed my geometry. My geometry remains the same. I've just scaled it. Everyone with me so far? Right? But when you're doing 3D modeling is all about adding geometry and building something, right? Because even when you made your, spaceship, not spaceship, your snowman, or whatever else we have made, the car, you have added more geometry. You added one more cube, you added another cylinder, you added something, right? So we were adding geometry. But in that case, we were adding different geometries, right? They were different objects altogether, right? They appeared in your outliner as different objects. Okay, but right now we are in the edit mode, and in the edit mode, when you extrude, you add geometry. So let's take a look at extrude. Okay, so here we have the cube with 6 edges, okay, 6 faces, and I just click on this face on top. Okay, and now the keyboard shortcut, we're going to use a keyboard shortcut for this function called extrude, and I'm going to hit E on the keyboard. Okay, as soon as I hit, now guys, only demonstration, keep your eyes on my screen, I'm going to give you a chance to do it. All right, so E on my keyboard, and I move my mouse. Now notice what's happening. It's doing something similar to what I was doing with the scale, right? So I'm scaling it up, and I'm going to left click again, similar to our a keyboard shortcuts to finalize the position, right? So I'm going to left click on my keyboard, on my mouse, and there you go. So notice now the shape is similar to what I had done before, correct? It's a scaled object. It's very similar, right? But there is a very distinct difference. You can see there is a line going through. There's a line going through here, and that tells me that I no longer have only 6 faces. I have more. I have doubled. Can you see? So I have 1, 2, let me turn around. Oops, once again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There you go. Can you see? With extrude, I have kind of scaled my object, okay, but I have added geometry to it. Where I had 6 faces before, now I have 10 faces. So the geometry has actually changed, right? Okay. Now the interesting thing is that because this geometry has changed, now you can do some interesting things. Like if I select the top, okay, and if I scale it, you see now you have a different kind of shape. You've already made like a house, and you haven't had to add a new object. See, in my outliner, I just have a cube. I'm doing all of this in the edit mode, right? It's just the same object. So this is the beginning of something called box modeling, where we are taking a box and then we are modifying the box, right? So I'm going to give you a chance to do this right now. But before that, let me just show you one more thing. Now I can click on this shape and look what happens. Okay, I can extrude. I got this interesting shape. Now I can scale this, and then I can extrude this. Okay, and now I don't need to only select the top. I can select any face. I select this, extrude. Okay, I can select this face, extrude. Okay, say I want to extrude this, extrude. And now notice, from one simple cube, I've got this really complex shape, right? And so this is the magic I was talking about. So go ahead, guys, take a moment, okay, to experiment with this. It's very simple. Yes, Kavish.
You can extrude all of this with any geometry shape.
Any geometry that has a face. In fact, we can extrude edges as well, and you can extrude vertices as well, right? We'll get to that after this, okay? Right now, let's first extrude faces, and you can extrude all faces, any kind of face in Blender, in any 3D application. It is a universal function, okay? And the word is extrude, extrusion. We are extruding, okay? And we have created extra geometry, right? So go ahead, take a moment, take a minute or two to experiment with this, all right? I'm here to answer any questions. Just quick recap. Have your default cube, jump into edit mode, use the face select tool, okay, and select any face, and then hit E on your keyboard. E is the shortcut for extrude, and then you can extrude the shape, and you'll have to left click to finalize the position, right? Now, as you're doing this, I just want to explain this. You continue doing it. You know, when you extrude, yes, Inay. Question?
So, sir,
Yes.
I can't really put Blender on because I'm on iPad.
Okay, not a problem. Yes, your dad had informed me. Not a problem. After this session, I will give you the recap video. All of it is there in the video, and I'm sure you remember this now. So as soon as you get access to your computer, go ahead and try this. All right? Yeah, and you'll have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, it's going to be like you can create all kinds of things, right? And so not a problem, Inay. Okay, you can lower your hand. All right. So as I was just saying, just for a minute, have your eyes on my screen, guys. So you will notice that when you extrude, you can extrude up and you can extrude inside also. Can you see? Right? You're extruding inside also. You want to avoid this right now. I'll explain why in a bit. Okay. You want to avoid this inside thing. We want to extrude outwards only. Okay. For now. Okay. Cool. Ina is wondering why do we have to extrude not inwards, right? Uh, okay, I'll explain. It's a bit we need to know why. We'll get into that. Okay, so everyone has done this extrude part. Can we move on? Yeah, everyone got it. Okay, can you see the possibilities? You can, like, do a whole bunch of things, right, with this. Like, let me we'll get into that. Okay, now I want to show you some other stuff. Okay, but before that I want to explain to you the concept of how this extrusion is happening. Okay, so see, so say I have this face selected and I extrude it. Notice it's extruding along the blue axis. Okay, and the blue axis actually is the y-axis. Okay, I don't know why it's showing it as the blue is actually the z-axis, but notice it's locked to that axis. See, when I extrude, it shows a line. Yeah, it's showing every axis as blue. It's showing a line. Can you see that line? And my extrusion is locked to that line. It's like how I do gx and I lock my motion to the x-axis. It's locked to this axis, the extrusion, right? I cannot move it. And when I finalize this, now if I hit G, I can move it around. Yes, Yuvan, question?
Sir, there is no question. I just figure it out. We have to press E on our keyboard and then press Z or Y.
Well, you don't. That's exactly what I was trying to say. That when you press E, you don't have to press X or Y or Z. Actually, you can't, because the E tool immediately locks to one direction. It locks to that direction, right? It doesn't matter whether you do Z, G, X. Now, if you do, one second, huh? Now, if you do E and say X, yeah, so now it does this kind of thing, right? Or if you do Y, it'll do this kind of thing, which is not ideal, right? You want to avoid this, right? And I'll tell you why. We'll get to that. Okay, it needs a little more explanation, but what I'm saying is, if you hit E, by default you don't have to press any axis. It already locks to something. Okay, and what is that something? Okay, that's what we are looking at. So if you notice, that something is a direction which is perpendicular to the face. Okay, so what is perpendicular? All of you know what is perpendicular, right? Perpendicular, you guys have geometry in school, right? Yeah, and so let me just so perpendicular is nothing but you have a line, one line, and a line that is exactly 90 degrees to that line. This is a perpendicular line, right? So now you'll notice that whenever I select a face, okay, say I'm selecting the top face, you can't see it right now. Whenever I select this top face, if I extrude it, it will extrude along a perpendicular direction. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so I am selecting this face. One second, face select. I select this face and I extrude, and see, it's going perpendicular in that direction that I've decided, right? So what is this perpendicular? One second, huh? What is this perpendicular thing, right? So in Blender and any 3D application, okay, there is a very important concept called a normal. Okay, every face has a normal. Okay, so let me visualize this so it's more clear. So we can show the normal of our faces, and you don't need to do that, but here's how you do it. Okay, here in this option here, there's a small arrow. If you click on that, there are a bunch of options. In that option, there is something called where does it go? Where it go? Center, normal. Yeah, these are normals. Can you see normals? So normals are there for all things: vertices, edges, and faces. So I'm going to click on display normal for the faces. Okay, and as soon as I clicked on that, you can see these small little blue lines. I'm going to increase the size of it, and now you can see all those lines, right? So you can see that every face, Anika, please quiet down a bit. All right, here you can see every face has this tiny line. It's like a needle coming out. Okay, now this needle will not show up in your renders. Okay, it's only there in your viewport. And what is it saying? This needle actually is communicating to Blender the direction of this face. See, a face can have two directions. It can have an outward direction and it can have an inward direction as well, right? And so for Blender to know which direction the face is going in, these lines are there. right? And so if you look at it, our extrusion happens along this line, along the normal. See, it's locked to the normal. And see, as soon as I create more geometry, more faces come, more normals come, right? So there is nothing you have to do with the normal. I'm just explaining this to you as theory, as concept, so you understand what a normal is. Normal is nothing but a perpendicular line from a face. That's it, right? That's all. It's the concept. So now notice this. This face is at an angle, right? It's slightly theta. But the normal is exactly perpendicular to that theta line, right? And now if I extrude, see, my extrusion is also theta, right? Because it's going along that normal. Okay, so that's what I wanted to kind of show you. Now I want to show you another interesting thing. Okay, if I select this face, I already have this theta. Now see, if I extrude this, see what's happening. That shape is going into the other shape. You saw that? It's gone into the other shape. And see, here it's kind of messy. You can see? You can't see the edge. It's kind of, that black line is not visible now because that black line has gone inside. And if I look into my wireframe view, see, you can see that there is this kind of a overlap, right? This overlap in 3D generally is referred to as intersection. You have an intersection in your geometry, right? And one second, let me go back to solid view. Yeah. So you can see here that your geometry is intersecting. Now, it's not exactly a bad thing, but sometimes it could be a bad thing, right? The intersections can cause problems. And that's why I wanted to show you what an intersection is, what it's called. Whenever you have your object going, the same object, because this is not a different object. When you did your snowman or your car, you are actually intersecting two different objects. You took the ice cream. The two ice creams were kind of smushed together. They were intersecting, right? But they were two different objects. Here, it's the same object. We are extruding and then we are intersecting. This can cause problems somewhere, right? And we'll get into those problems. I just wanted to introduce you to the concept of normals and the concept of intersections, okay? And we'll look at why intersections sometimes can be a problem later, all right? Okay, cool. So that is that is extrusion, okay? And that is normals. Now you don't need to reveal the normals. That's fine. That was just for explanation, okay? Now let's go to the next big function, okay? So I'm going to delete this cube, okay? But before deleting it, I'm going to jump back into edit mode because I don't want to, jump back into object mode. I don't want to delete my object in edit mode, okay? I'm going to delete it here, X, delete, and I'm going to shift A, add another cube. All right. So here we have our cube, and let's jump back into edit mode. And now we are going to learn another magical function. Okay. So today's session has some really foundational and fun tools that can help you do box modeling. Okay. So after extrude, this is also a type of extrude. Okay. It's a modified extrude. It also adds geometry. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the face up here, and this function is called inset. Okay, inset, and the shortcut for inset is I. So with the face selected, if I hit I, see what happens. Yes, you win.
Sir, by mistake I got out of Blender and then I came again in it, but I cannot get in in edit mode.
You have to have a cube to get into edit mode. Do you have a cube?
I have.
Okay, so then select the cube. You have to have the cube selected. Without a selection, you will never get into edit mode, right? Is your cube selected? Now, can you go into edit mode? Yes, perfect, right? Always remember, you need to have an object selected because what is the word for it? It is, I forget the word. Oh man, there is a word for it. So it is context specific, right? That's not the exact word, but your edit mode is specific to the different objects in your workspace, right? like I demonstrated last time, if you are in the object mode, in the edit mode for one particular object, you can't select other objects because they are outside, right? So you have to have an object selected. All right, just 1 second. All right, so as I was saying, inset, let's get into inset. So 1 second, let me do that again. So here we have our face selected, and I'm going to hit I on my keyboard, and look what happens. Okay, I move my mouse and there is this kind of a geometry created. All right, and see, I can pull it out, but it doesn't go out, it doesn't go outwards, it only goes in, and that's why it's called inset. And now see, I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to left click, so I finalized it. And now look what's interesting about this. See, it's flat on that face, it hasn't come out, it's flat on that face, absolutely flat. But interestingly, what it's done is it's created one face, it's made one face into 5 faces. You have one here, and see, you can select them separately. And now the interesting thing is, you can click on this face, extrude, you can click on this face, or you can click on 2 faces, shift, and I've shift selected and I extrude. Notice, see, I got this unique shape now. It's like a throne, right? And so this is the kind of things you can do with inset. Okay, and we'll look at it more, right? So inset essentially makes new geometry on the face itself, right? And you can't inset outwards, it's always inset inwards. Okay, and there are some modifications. We will learn those modifications as we start using the tool. All right, so go ahead guys, take a moment to try inset. Okay, Inay, you can do it at home or when you have your computer. Are you traveling right now? Are you in motion? Okay, I take that as a yes. All right, cool. All right, tell me when you guys are done. Okay, we have 15 minutes to go. I have some more cool things to show you. All right, and then of course there is the recap video, so you'll have to follow that. All right, okay, Surya's done, and Kavish and Yuvin,
My computer is glitching.
Oh no.
It's completely glitching.
All right, that's okay. That's a reality we will all face at some point or the other as 3D artists and creators, because
And
yes.
in my computer, one thing is not getting selected. Like mostly all of it is getting selected.
Mostly all of it is getting selected.
Like how on your computer, on your presentation, you have selected one face, right?
Yes.
In my computer, that's not working.
Hmm.
It's
Try.
selecting side face also and the center square also and the one that I'm selecting.
Oh, that's very odd. That is a glitch actually. That shouldn't be happening. How about you jump out of make a new cube, delete your cube, jump out of edit mode, and delete it, right? And then make a new cube. Okay.
Okay.
Right. And so wonderful, these kind of issues should happen, okay? Because as we are becoming creators, you're using a tool and you should learn how to troubleshoot. There'll be trouble all the time, right? And you got to learn how to fix those problems, right? And so as you use this more and more, you will learn the ways to find the problems, right? So this is one of the solutions. If your cube is acting weird, just delete the cube, try creating a new cube and try it again. If that doesn't work, try closing Blender and turning on Blender again, right? These are basic things you can try. And then if that also doesn't work, then you probably have to turn on your, shut down your computer and restart it, right? Depending on how old your computer is, some kind of glitches like that can happen, right? All right. So Kavish, you deal with that. I want to know everyone else was able to experiment with inset.
It's working now.
All right. Yuvin, you are able to do inset? Okay, so let's move on. Let's do the next part. Okay, so here we are going to, so I'm going to close this and I'm going to open my new file, my other file. There you go. And so I just want to turn off something here. World, and there you go. Okay. So I just turned off something. I wanted to demonstrate that as well. Oops, Anika. Okay. So here we have a simple looking hammer. Someone, can you just go on mute, Ine? I think there's some background sound. Yeah. Thanks. All right. So here we have a hammer. Okay. And so, you can see this pretty complicated, right? There's this kind of a dimple here, a dent. Okay. You have this kind of tapered edge. Okay. And, here you have, it's come out a bit. Okay. And then you have this handle, and this handle has kind of a grip here, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and begin to build this. Okay. And we are going to use box modeling, and we're going to use the two functions that we learned. Okay. And I'm going to quickly demonstrate this, and you're going to catch on this very easily, right? It's super simple and you're going to learn this. Okay. So I'm going to demonstrate this. So I'm just going to go ahead. Before that, one thing I want to show you, I might have showed you this before, but I want to show it to you again. See, when you look at your model here, okay, there are, this is an indent, but can you see it's not very clear, right? It's not, this edge kind of disappears here. Can you see? There's no edge here. You can't see it, right? And this is what we refer to as a shading issue, right? It's not getting shaded properly, and that's why you can't see the form clearly. And as a modeler, or as you're doing 3D modeling, it's very important for you to be able to see the form clearly. Right now, this edge is actually, it's actually there should be an edge here, but you can't see it, right? And so, and because of that, things, are not very clear. Down here also, you can see. Molu, can you please, yeah, just a little quiet, all right? Okay. So here you can see again my edge. See, there should be an edge here for this grip, but I can't see it, right? And that's a problem. So here's a hack to make your visual in your viewport a lot clearer. Okay. And so it doesn't happen by default. You have to go and do this. Okay. So yeah, and it works only in your solid view, by the way. Okay. So when you're in your solid view, you come here to this tiny little arrow and you click on that, and here it shows viewport shading. Okay. So this shows a whole lot of options to change how your viewport shading works. Okay. And I don't want to mess around with any of this. What I want to do is come down here to cavity. Okay. Click on cavity, and it gives you two options. Now in the type, I want you to change that from world. You have a couple of options. I want you to change it to both. And when you change it to both, you get these options. And these options, when you do it, you might have it at halfway, right? It'll be something like this. Okay. I want you to bump that all the way up. Okay. And when you do that, you'll see that your model looks a little different, right? You can see your edges are a lot clearer. See? Now I can see that, I can see this indent very clearly. It's so clear, right? There are some shadows inside, and so my form is very clear, right? So this is what I want you to do. So with your default cube, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to do this. Or have you done it already? Okay, if you've done it already, great. Okay. If you haven't done it, take 5 seconds to do that. Okay. And remember this. Okay. You always want to set this up this way so that your model looks a lot better as well. And you can see all the forms very clearly. Okay. Cool. So that's about it. Now here in the model, quickly you can see that I have two objects. I have the hammer part. I've named it as well. This is the hammer, and I'm turning on and off its visibility with this eye icon, and then I have the handle. Okay, so two different objects, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in my tool, if yours is not selected this way, here you have this box select tool, and if this isn't selected, just long press on, long click on that icon, and you will get a whole bunch of options, right? So you have to select box. This is generally the selection tool I like to use, because I can just click and drag a box over what I want to select. And look, I've selected both. Hammer and handle have gotten selected. I'm going to hit G on the keyboard and X and move it to the side. All right. So there it is for my reference. And now I'm going to add a cube, mesh, cube. All right. Now it's time to build our object, right? So generally, we've been working in this perspective view all this while, right? And it's not exactly the best way to model accurately. And when you're modeling, you want to model with accuracy, right? And so how do we do that? The best way to work, be accurate is to use the front, side and top views. The exact front, exact side and exact top views. Now, there is a more technical term for exact, and that is called orthographic, right? Orthographic front, orthographic side, orthographic top. Now, why is it orthographic? Orthographic is different from perspective view, right? I think we touched upon this in session 1. If we haven't, I'll just quickly talk about it. So in perspective, you can see in perspective, parallel lines seem to join at some point, right? Like you can see this grid line, they are actually parallel, right? But, and from geometry, parallel lines will never touch each other. They will never join. They will go for infinity parallelly, right? Do you all know this? Do you all know this? That parallel lines will never meet, right? And so why does, if you stand on a railway track and you look at the railway track, it looks like the railway track will meet, right, at some point. But you know that the railway track is parallel, right? And that's because the railway, that's because our eyes in the real world, we see the world in perspective, right? And in perspective, what happens is objects that are at a distance are small and objects that are closer to you are big, right? So an aeroplane that's really far away looks really tiny. You know it's giant, but it looks really tiny because of perspective, right? In orthographic view, okay, you can't see the real world in orthographic view, but in orthographic view, everything remains the same, okay? The objects that are far or close, they're all depicted in the exact same size. Now, it's kind of difficult to visualize this, but 3D can visualize it very easily, okay? And there's a button here to do that, okay? I'm going to quickly show you also. So here in the perspective view, if you were to click the button underneath the camera, okay, you can see it shows orthographic projection. If I click on that, look, my view has changed. It looks a little weird also, right? You can see now your grid lines are all parallel, right? And your object also looks more or less the same, but you can see your viewport looks a little different. This is an orthographic view, okay? Now, generally we don't work in the orthographic view like this, where we are orbiting our camera. So I just click that and now this is a lot better because we are used to seeing things in perspective in real life, right? But like I said, when we are modeling, we want to use the orthographic front, side and top views, right? So that we can see them exactly. There is no distortion. In perspective, there is distortion, right? That's why a parallel line looks like they are going to converge at some point, okay? So how do we jump into our front, side and top views? Super simple, okay? All you have to do, all of you who have a keyboard, numpad, okay? How many of you have a numpad on your keyboard? Only one of you? Oh, okay. Niket also has. Okay. So not a problem. Whoever has a numpad can use the numpad, and who don't have a numpad, I'll show you how to use, do it another way. Okay. So the numpad, okay, for the numpad, to get into the front view, okay, all you have to do is hit 1 on your numpad. Okay. So you have to have your mouse on your viewport, and I hit 1 and there you go. See? I quickly jumped into a front view, and up here you can see front orthographic, right? And if I hit 3 on my numpad, it goes to side view. Yes, Inay? Yes, Inay? Oh, okay, no question.
I'm home right now, so
Yeah,
my
no.
dad telling me to shut it. Can I leave?
Yeah, sure, no problem. You will get everything in the recap video. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. See you. Bye. All right. Okay. So as I was saying, here we are in the right orthographic view. Okay. And if you hit 7 on your keyboard, it goes to the top view, top orthographic view, right? Now this way, it's a lot more easy for you to place things and build things. Okay. So, and if you don't have a numpad, okay, very simple. All you have to do is go to edit, go to preferences, and in preferences, you want to go to input, and in input, you want to do emulate numpad. Now, when you do emulate numpad and you close, what happens is the numbers above your keyboard, 1, 2, 3, 4, they work as your numpad. Okay, so now all you have to do is press 1 on your keyboard and it'll jump to front view, right? I have a numpad, so it's showing numpad, but I'm actually pressing the numbers on my keyboard on the top, right? Now if I press 3, it'll go to the side view. If I press 7, it'll go to the top view. All right, so right now I want to jump back to the front view, which is 1. Okay, so guys, go ahead and do that. Just play around with the front view, side view, top view. Yeah, cool. Okay, so now we have only 2 minutes to go for this session. Okay, I wanted to show you how to build this, but all of it is there in the recap video. All right, okay, and it's very clear in the recap video. Okay, so I show you how to build this hammer. Okay, and it's very clear in that. And the assignment, there is an assignment which is also there in the recap video. I'll just quickly show it to you. Okay, so once you build this hammer, okay, using inset and extrude, okay, you are going to be building. I just want to excite you a bit. That's why I'm showing it to you. 1 second. Just with extrude and inset, okay, you will be able to create this. Okay, so this is the assignment. You are going to be creating this cool spaceship. Okay, and it's all there. It's everything. Just making the hammer, okay, is going to teach you how to make this. But the challenge is to make this spaceship. Okay, guys. Okay, so check out the recap video. It's not much. Okay, it's just another 5-10 minutes. But you know, we've run out of time today, so check out the recap video. Everything is there. I'm going to share it on the group as soon as this is done. Okay, cool. Are you excited? Yeah, excited to make the spaceship? Yes, Kavish.
In this spaceship, do we have to add lighting, background and all?
Yes, so there is no background right now in this image. Okay, there is a light. Okay, so there is a sunlight in this, so you can see the shadow. Can you see what tells you that there is a light? There's a shadow and there's a soft shadow. Can you see? You want to start learning to view images like that, right? Very critically. You're not just saying, oh, spaceship. You're saying, oh, there is extrusion, right? There is extrusion here. There's another object here, right? There is inset here, right? There is a shadow. The light is coming from this side. There is a soft shadow. That means the angle of the sunlight has been changed, right? These are the things you want to notice now. You want to start looking at images more critically, and not just the images I give you, all other images that you see in the world, right? You know, when you're traveling by train or by car, you'll see images on billboards, or you know, you'll see images different places. Start critically noticing images, right? And critically seeing them, especially when you see 3D stuff, right? Okay, so are you guys excited to make this spaceship? Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay, and it's super simple. Okay, I haven't showed you how to make the spaceship. Okay, that's your challenge. I've showed you how to make the hammer, and just making the hammer, all the things you learned to make the hammer will help you make this spaceship. Okay, cool. We're going to meet day after tomorrow, which is Wednesday. All right, I want you to have your spaceship ready. No excuses. All right. And it's super simple. It just looks complicated, right? It's super simple. Okay, and just a hint. Okay, hint here is that you don't have to just make this whole thing with one cube. Okay, the body is one cube with extrusions here. This top can be a separate object. Okay, these lines here, these objects can be separate objects. These fins can be separate objects, right? This jet part is an extrusion and inset, right? So you don't have to make this whole thing with just one cube. You get me? Right? Okay, cool. And I want you to share your spaceship, your hammer also, okay, in the group, okay, and ask me any questions wherever you get stuck. Okay, I'm always available. All right. Yes, Surya, time to go. Go to school.
No, but do you also have to color the hammer?
Yes. I show how you to color the hammer, and in fact I show you a little bit variation in how to color, right, in the recap video. So you have to do that as well. Okay. Yes, Kavish.
Okay, sir.
There's again a glitch in my computer. I don't know what's wrong. When I do the insect part, and like you showed in the demonstration, to make the handle, I have to make it I'm trying to do that, but then it's not scaling for everyone.
It's glitching. Okay. So guys, everyone else of you, you can log out if you want to. Kavish, give me your AnyDesk.
It's on the chat.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone else, if you want to see how I'm troubleshooting, you can. If not, if you're ready to leave, you can leave. Okay. Not a problem. The session is done. Okay. So let's look at Kavish's issue. Okay. Kavish, yes. Show me your, yes. Okay. So, yes. Now show me what the problem is.
Now see, when I am selecting this,
Just move away this AnyDesk thing. I can't see. Okay. Yes. You're selecting what? That.
I'm
Right.
selecting that,
Huh.
and I want to shift and selecting the opposite one.
Aha.
Okay, now I need to scale it, right?
Huh?
To go up.
No, you have to extrude it to go up, not scale.
Oh, extrude. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So inset, no, if you have multiple shapes selected and when you inset, okay, good, you're experimenting, right? When you select in multiple shapes and you inset, right, you might have some trouble sometimes. It's kind of, it depends on how the shapes are placed and how you're insetting, right? So we'll get to that, but this was an extrude, right? And see, you're already getting some really interesting shapes, right? Good job. Okay, so it's not a glitch, but if you have any glitches, right, just restart, right? Save your file, and remember, save your file. The shortcut is Control S to keep saving your file. Okay, I want you to save every file, every different file you're working in Blender. You want to save the files. Okay, I want all the files to save, and I also want you to export, render images. When you're done with something, render it. And right now I saw in your folder structure, you have your renders and your files in the same folder, in the same root folder, right? Whatever your Kavish Blender, right? Make a file, make a folder inside Kavish Blender called blends, and put all your Blender files inside that, and make a file called renders or out, right? Output, okay? And put all your renders in that folder, okay? Okay, we want to start having a good folder hygiene, right? And saving and having your files saved properly, versions. We want to do that from the start itself. Otherwise, you'll learn bad habits. All right. Okay, good job, Kavish. I will see you day after tomorrow, and I want you to post your work. Okay, and I'm going to share the recap video right away. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.